How to shoot group photos, teams, clubs, and groups. Revised 2026, July. What we will cover: general, steps, where, when, how, and who, and other issues. General, shooting teams, clubs, and groups are the same. It's just a group of students. The difference is sports teams have a uniform and can be associated with a specific location on campus, like the football field or the pool. Steps, where? Find and select the location for the group pictures. When? Schedule the date and time to take the picture. How? Set up and arrange the group. Who? Get the names and other issues. Where? Where? Association. Sport teams could be shot on the field or court that they play on. For instance, baseball on the baseball field or swim on the pool. Some clubs and organizations are associated with a physical location on campus, such as the auto shop or band room. Other clubs and organizations would want a more neutral location. Find the location for the group picture. Do a walking survey of the campus to look for locations. Don't forget indoor locations like the gym or the cafeteria. Bring your picture template. Discuss later. Things to look out for. Is it out of the way of student traffic? Is there enough space for a large group? You may want two locations, one for smaller groups and one for larger groups. One size does not always fit all. How will you set up the shot? Check the background so it is not distracting. How is the lighting? You want even light on all the faces, not half the students in the sunlight and half in the shade. That is difficult to deal with. Direction of the sun at the time you take the pictures. Afternoon sun is different than noon sun. So if you're going to go out and shoot it in the afternoon, your sunlight may be different than what you checked out at noon. So check it out at the time you plan to take the picture. Where? These are examples of team pictures. And if you notice, they're in different locations. Softball field, soccer field, gym, pool, football field, and in the middle of campus. If you look around hard, you can find things. Use the logo on the field or court. Top picture, lacrosse team. We're using the logo on the middle of the football field. Bottom picture, badminton. We're using the logo in the gym. For very large groups, use the football or gym bleachers. The bleachers can handle many rows. The only limitation is the size of your bleachers. However, it is harder to line up this many people. You do the best you can. I had situations where I had to move some tall students from the front to the back because they were blocking the students in the rows behind them. Bad weather alternative. This is your plan B. Outdoor locations can be rained out. Rain, snow, or other reasons. Or if you're shooting on the ground, it could be muddy. So you have to have alternative locations. If it is raining, go indoors. Gym, the floor or the bleachers. If the playing field is muddy, use the football field where they have artificial turf. Or up on the bleachers or in the gym. Is it raining? Shoot in the gym. This picture of the track and field team was shot in the gym because it was raining outside on the football bleachers. Background. The background is something associated with the team, such as scoreboard, soccer net, or other field items. You have issues, distraction, and dark. And we'll show you this later as we go along. Background related to the team or club. For example, the tennis team on the tennis court, Soccer team in front of the soccer goal. Baseball team on the baseball field. You can see the baseball scoreboard in the background. Football team on the football field. Football scoreboard in the back. Lacrosse on the lacrosse field. So another question. Background. Do you want the scoreboard or not? It may be a distraction or it may not be a distraction. Your call. Distracting background. Look at the top picture. See the people on the bleachers in the back. You got a great picture of your team, but are the people in the back distracting you? So we climb up the bleachers and we shoot down on them, totally eliminating the background. Dark background. Tricky problem in the gym if you're using flash. The farther away you are, the darker things get. When? Coordinate a mutually convenient time for the coach, the team, and you to take the picture. You also need to work around student traffic, such as during lunch period and immediately after school. Again, that's the problem if you're in the middle of campus and you have people walking through your picture. How? Headgear, with or without helmet or hat. Picture, top left. Football players, just as they are on the football field, they have their helmets on. But you can't see their face, so you don't know who they are. Bottom left, helmets off. Now you can see their face and you can recognize them. Much better. Picture top right. With a visor or a cap, half of the face would be in deep shadow and you can't see their eyes. So what can you do? Well, just like football players, take off the hat. Tip: make a template. What is a template? A piece of cardboard with a hole in the same dimensions as the photo on the layout. You hold the template up and look through the hole. That'll tell you approximately how the picture will look. You can use that to adjust the number of people in the row and the number of rows to best fit the picture. Top left, this is a template, just a piece of cardboard with a hole. This is how you use it on the right. As you can see, we have a lot of space on the left. The group here did not have to have so many rows going backwards. We could have put several of the people on the left to make it wider. This is how you also walk around the campus to figure out where you want to take your pictures. You put the template up in front of you and say, will it work? Set up the group. Organize. You're going to use your template. The team and group pictures are not wide, so you have to use rows to reduce the width of the picture. You can do up to 3 rows on the ground, seated, kneeling, and standing. 4 or more rows requires risers, bleachers, stairs, or a sloped surface. Organize the shorter people in front and the taller people as you go back. It doesn't make any sense to put a 6-foot person in front of a 5-foot person. Then your 5-foot person is going to be blocked by the tall person, even if that 6-foot person is kneeling. Stagger the rows so the people in the back rows are between the people in the row in front. That way you can see the people in the next row. Then make certain that you can see everyone's face. A very common misconception is you tell the person, well, if you can see me, I can see you. Well, if they can see you, you may only be able to see their eyes. You may not be able to see their face. So you have to look and see whether you can see their faces. Then, where do you put the manager? Where do you put the coach or advisor? side, bookend, or center, and how to place an odd number of coaches or advisors. Staggered rows. This is a really good example. If you look at all the players, let's start from the back. So you have the back row. Then you have the second to the back row, starting from number 52 and number 20 and number 24. If you look at their heads, their head is in between the row behind them. Every row down, the head is in between the row above, so you can clearly see their number. The only exception to that is number 2 in the front. He's right in the middle, and his head is right on number 64's number. Probably because we have one odd person. If we had a second person, number 2 can go to the right or left, and you'd put the other person in between. But this is a good example of how each of the rows are staggered one behind the other. Large group, more than 3 rows. You see the first row is seated, second row is kneeling, third row is standing, fourth row has to go up on a riser to get above the third row. Coaches, center, bookend, or on one side. Top left, football. Coaches are in the center. Well, we've got 6 coaches, so maybe we do put them in the center. Softball, top. We've got the coaches in the center. The manager's top row right. Bottom row left. We've tried a different approach. We bookend the coaches. So we've got the coaches on both sides of the top row. Swimming. The 2 coaches are on one side of the team. There is no right answer. It's whatever you guys feel you want to do. You can put the coaches in the center, coaches on the side, or bookend. Take the picture. Taking the picture. First, stand as far back from the group as you can. The larger the group and the more rows of people, the more important this is. The reason is something called perspective. The closer you are, the greater the difference in size of the people in the front row versus the rear rows. We will have an example on the next slide. The next item is focus. You're going to focus on the person or row 1/3 back from the front. Depth of field is 1/3 in front and 2/3 in back of the focus point. You will need enough depth of field to have all the rows in focus. Unfortunately, without a depth of field chart, this is kind of difficult, so just plan to shoot at f8. Next, have everyone look at you. I've been in situations where you've got a big group, but some of them are looking at their phones, some of them are talking, and you can't get everyone to look at you, and so you have some people looking strange because they're doing something else. So you got to get everybody to look at you. One way is you count before you shoot so that everybody knows when you will shoot. For example, on 3, 1, 2, 3, click. Then bracket the shot, plus and minus 1 and 2 stops. Total of 5 shots. -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. Some cameras can be set up to do auto bracketing for you. This is to handle situations where the meter is fooled by something in the picture. For example, if you're shooting on the aluminum bleachers, well, the aluminum bleachers might be getting a lot of reflection from the sun. So the camera's going to say, whoa, too bright, and it's going to darken everything. If you don't bracket, you won't catch that situation. Perspective. What is perspective? These 2 pictures. Picture on the left is from the template. Look at the girls in the front row. Then look at the girl in the back row. Notice the difference in the size of their face. This is caused by the camera being close to them, and you get this perspective difference because of the distance. You are close to the person in the front, and you are far from the person in the back. Now, contrast that with the picture on the right. This was shot in the gym. So now we've got 5 rows of people, and look at the faces on the front row and the back row. They're about the same. You don't have that small head effect on the back row. How this was done is you go to the other side of the gym, or as far away as you can, and you take your picture from there. So you're not shooting, you don't have this up close perspective distortion when you get close to the people. You get far away. If you're on the field, heck, I've shot groups on the bleachers from the other side of the field, 100 yards away. It works. So for a very large group on the football or gym bleachers, football bleachers, shoot from as far away as you can. This is to reduce the perspective distortion that we saw in the previous slide. In the gym, shoot from the other side of the gym, again to reduce the perspective distortion. And as you can see, the head sizes on the front row and the last row is about the same. Finally, in the gym, use a flash. The size of the gym is typically dim. Who? Names. Get the names. Before the group breaks, have the coach, leader, or manager fill in the picture template with the names of everyone. This will make life much easier and faster for the editor. Trying to get names months after the picture was taken requires a lot of work and can take a long time. Finally, take a picture of the completed form so you have a copy in case the original is lost. And this is what we mean. You have the picture. We have a template on the bottom. Names are filled in by the coach or the team manager. So you can look at the picture, you can look at the template, and you know everybody's name. The editor can immediately start filling in the caption. He does not have to wait to try and figure out who's who. Alternative ways to get names. Have a clipboard for each row. Pass the clipboard down the row and have each student write their names clearly. Therein lies a problem. I have seen students' handwriting where I could not read their handwriting, so I had no idea what their name was. For large groups, this is faster than using just one clipboard. Second option, use a voice recorder. Walk down each row and have the students tell you their name. However, just like handwriting, this works only if they speak clearly. It is useless if they mumble their name. Name issue. Nonlinear groups. What is a nonlinear group? It is a group that is not linear, like an orchestra or groups on an uneven ground. Look at the picture below. The students in the orchestra are not in rows. They're in an arc. And who do you have on the top, on the right and left side? The percussions. How do you put them in rows? So you can't do this one in rows very easily, or not at all. So consider doing a name list in alphabetical order. Then you don't have to dealing with rows that just don't work. Other issues. Dealing with the sun outdoors. As we talked about on the hat and helmet slide, look at this picture. You can see her lower face is in the sun and properly exposed, but her eyes are in the shadow, and it's a pretty deep shadow. So how do you deal with that kind of a situation? Like this. Picture, top left, baseball team. They want their caps on. Well, you don't want to deal with that shadow under the visor, so what you do is you flip them around. The sun is on their back, so their face is in the shadow. You expose for the shadow. That way you don't have a shadow and sunlight on their face. Everything's in shadow. Picture, top right, in the sun with their caps on. Here, they angle their caps up slightly so the sun hits their face and does not put half of the face in shadow. Picture, bottom left, at night with a flash. Don't have to deal with the sun. Picture, bottom right, sun is set behind the hill, so we're shooting between the school buildings in shadow. There is no sunlight hitting the students. So you're not dealing with the sunlight. It's just everything shadow. Next, if you're indoors, what about the color of the light? Have you shot your volleyball or basketball game and you look at the picture and say, hey, the color's wrong. What's going on? In this picture, everything has a slightly yellow cast. But if you want good color, how do you deal with it? Use a flash. The flash will completely overpower the gym lights, so you're not dealing with the funky gym lighting. So how do you use a flash? First thing, do not assume that your flash will work. You know what assume means. Don't make an ass out of you and me. Do a dry run. Test the flash on camera. Determine the proper exposure. Something to remember. Your subject illumination is done by the flash, and that is done by the aperture of your lens. The background is ambient light. The lighting on the background is determined by your shutter speed. Look at that top picture. If you want a lighter background, you use a slower shutter speed. If you want a darker background, you use a faster shutter speed. Up to your camera's flash sync speed. And you have to read the manual to determine what the flash sync speed is for your camera. Please see the flash video for more information. The end. Please like and subscribe.